All right, so I'm gonna be replacing the brake pads. First, I need to take out the old one first. I already took off the pins here and the clips, and you want to see that, you can see, you watch my other videos from I don't know how many months back, maybe 3 months back or something like that. But now I need to take out the old pads. And when you do this, this is the easiest way to do it without messing anything up, is to leave, do one side at a time. So the other side, leave the pads on. Don't do anything with the other side. Just leave it there. And this side, after you take the pins and clips off, you're gonna have to. Sometimes they slide out, but sometimes they don't. If they don't slide out, just grab your rotor and just kind of move it a little bit like so. That will actually give you a little bit of more what's the word I'm trying to get? More slack, basically. But also, what you also do is, here I'm squeezing right here, basically. So I'm trying to, because the pistons are pushed in, so it's, so that's what you're fighting against, is the pistons. So you want to push the pistons out. So one way of doing that is basically kind of moving the rotor, wiggling the roller back and forth, so that way it pushes the pads, but also doing this kind of does it as well. So, and I'm pushing from the backside here, from the center out as well. So now I get my pads out. All right, this one's still pretty good, really good actually. But my other side is just completely shot. I should have rotated the brake pads. Normally you don't rotate the brake pads, but I should have done it with this, because the wear is totally different from each other. Anyway, so now what you need to do is you need to push the pistons back in. So that's the tricky part. That's why you leave the pads on the other side alone. Don't take it out, because if you take out the pads and if the other side's like this and you try to push these pistons out, the pistons from the other side will actually go out even more, and you really fucked after that. So this side, what I do is, this is the easiest way. I put the brake pads back on down here towards the bottom piece, like so, because this thing is a 4 piston, right? So I'm gonna push this back in there, so that way the pads right here are holding the bottom piston, so that way it prevents the bottom piston from coming out anymore. And the top one, I have my little piston spreader here. You don't necessarily need this. I think you can get away with probably just A clamps. So the piston spreader basically goes in like so, and you just get it so that way you can squeeze between the rotor and the pistons. And once you get it in there, you could just spread this open, and it'll spread the piston open. But let me try doing this without that, just using my A clamps. I never tried this before, but let's see if it works. So the post, for just for the folks that don't have the spreader, because this spreader costs money, right? A clamps are pretty cheap. You could probably just get this at Harbor Freight for, like, I don't know, a couple bucks. You probably need 4 of these things. This is basically a hand size A clamp. Don't get anything bigger than this, because when you put it in like this, the two part right here will hit each other. So you need that, so you can't get the bigger ones. And the ones that are too smaller than this one, they're not, the jaw's not deep enough to go all the way to reach the pistons. So let's try this to see if it works. I want to do both sides at the same time, because I don't want the because if I do one side, the piston on this side will actually push out. So I have to do both sides at the same time. Let's see if this works. Okay, I'm squeezing in there. I believe I'm pretty much in there. So, but now you can see this side actually clamping in. Now this side is clamping in, so it does work. So there you go. I spread the piston. And you want to double check for sure. Just spread right here, so that way it squeezes the piston together some more. That's it. That's how I did. That's how I did it without my brake spreader. Now you need, I think I mentioned just a minute ago, you need 4 of these. So you need to keep these 2 up here, and do the bottom 2. So once those 2 are spread out, these, let's say these clamps are still in here. These clamps are still in here. And make sure when you get this, make sure you get the thing with the little rubber protector, so it doesn't because the metal here will actually scratch your calipers. So I'm looking at my my piece here. I want to make sure that it's the side that's not gonna scratch the calipers. So here, this is pretty good. This is pretty good as well. Let me use this for the outside. This one's a little bit more worn out. You can see this one's a little bit more worn out. So I'm gonna use this for this side right here, like so. And that. And inside like this. Now, if you had 4 of these things, you could take out the brake pads from the bottom out here now. Take those out. And with your other 2 A clamps, you could do the same thing. But since I only have 2 of these, I don't have 4. I'm gonna use my little spreader here, and it's it's pretty much the same thing. Get in there. I'm gonna spread it open, and that spreads the pistons apart, so that way the pistons will retract back into the calipers. Essentially the same, the same idea. Like so. And that's it. And you're done. Now we're gonna take my doesn't matter which order. You take these off. Take your thread off. Now you can stick the new brake pads back in. And that's it. That's it's that easy. That simple to do yourself. So you don't need any special tools. Just get some A clamps, hand size, and you're good to go. All right. Thanks for watching.